What's up everybody, this is Everything Cubed, and I am bringing you the simplest tutorial on how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. In this tutorial, I'll be using the Moyu Aolong V2, so smash that like and subscribe button, and let's get started. The first step to solving a 3x3 Rubik's Cube is learning about the colors. On a standard cube, the colors should be green, orange, blue, red, yellow, and white. If you have a different colored cube, it might be harder to follow along, but not impossible. The link to this cube will be down in the description. It is a very good cube, and it's a lot better than the original Rubik's Cube ran. Now let's talk about the patterns. On a standard cube, the white is opposite of yellow, the orange is opposite of the red, and blue is opposite of green. Now let's talk about the rotation. During the video, you'll hear me say things like F prime, which just means the F side, which is the front side, counterclockwise. Prime means counterclockwise. This is the right face, this is the left face, this is the up face, this is the D face, this is the B face, and this is the F face. Now knowing this, it's time to start solving. Now that the cube has been scrambled, it's time to start solving. I'm going to solve this cube using the layer by layer method, which is by far the easiest way to solve a 3x3, or any cube for that matter. So during a layer by layer, you're going to start with one face and work straight up. The first step is to create a white cross. And how you're going to do that is by picking white edge pieces and aligning them in a cross with the other centers. And that's just what we're going to do. So I can see that there's a white piece right here, and I'm going to move it over to the other orange. So now it's white, orange, white, orange. That's not the way, because it's in the right spot, but it's just not oriented the right way. So now we're going to orientate it by using this algorithm. F prime, U, L prime, U prime. And as you can see, we now have the white, white, and orange, orange. Let's keep going. There's one right here. It is the blue and white. So let's bring this down and move it to the blue. As you can see, it's now in the right position, so let's move it up twice, and now we have white, white, and blue, blue. Let's keep going. When you have one like this, where it has one piece right here that's completed and one right here that's completed, but you have a piece stuck in here, you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to move it down, move it out of the way, and bring this piece back up. Now that this one is out of the way, we can move it with its other piece and move it up twice. Now we have green, white, green, white, green, white, green. Okay, so let's do that orientating algorithm again. F prime, U, L prime, U prime. And as you can see, we now have the white cross. The next step is to do the white edges. The white edges are these pieces with the white on them. So when doing white edges, you're going to want to put the white edge under where it's supposed to be. So you can tell where it's supposed to be by going, so this is the white, blue, and orange, white, blue, and orange. When it's in this formation, and when one of the white is in the bottom right and it's facing you, you're going to want to do this algorithm. D, R prime, D prime, R. And as you can see, we now have this piece in. And we somehow managed to also get this piece. Let's keep going. There's another one right here, but it's in, but it's not oriented the right way. So let's move it out by doing R prime, D, R. And then moving it back to its spot under where it needs to go, right here. White, green, and red, white, green, and red. When it's on the bottom like this, you're going to want to do this algorithm. R prime to D, R, D prime, R prime, D, R. And as you can see, we now have this piece in. Two more. Okay, so one piece is right in here, so let's do that algorithm. Take it out. R prime, D, R. And it is the white, red, and blue. It's matched up with the white, red, and blue. This time, it's on the right side, so you're going to do this algorithm. R prime, D, R. And as you can see, we now have it in again. Last one, it's on the right again. So, same algorithm. R prime, D, R. And as you can see, we have the white face completed. With the white face completed, we're going to put it on the bottom. And now we're going to start filling in these edges. We already have one in. Sometimes that'll happen, but it's pretty rare. So I see right here a green and orange piece. So whenever you're going to see this, you're just going to look around and you'll see an edge. You're going to match this edge up with the center. So this is green, green, and this is the orange. So what you're going to want to do is look to see which side the orange is on. Is it on the right or is it on the left? In my case, it's on the right. The link to this algorithm will be in the description, along with the algorithm to the left side. But if it's on the right side, we're going to do this algorithm. U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And as you can see, we now have this edge in and oriented the right way. Let's keep looking for pieces. This is another one right here with the red and green is on the right, so let's do that same algorithm. U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. Let's look for the last one. It's right here. Blue and red. Red is on the right once again. So, here we go. Actually, you know what? I am going to do a short little algorithm to get this piece switched around. And I'm going to do it like this. So now, do you see that it's in this position right here? This is how some pieces end up when they're in the right position, but they're not oriented the right way. When it's like this, what we're going to want to do is we're going to remove this piece. There are many ways to do it, but you're just going to want to do the algorithm to make it so that you can put a piece in, but the color on top goes to the right. So that's algorithm is U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And as you can see, we've now removed that piece and it should show up in the very back. Now we're going to do the algorithm for the right side one last time. U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And as you can see, we've now completed this entire layer. Like I said, in the description, there will be the algorithm if it was on the left. And it's just the exact same algorithm, but backwards. Or opposite. So now we're going to look at this top yellow face. You can tell it's the yellow face by the yellow center. And we're going to look at this yellow cross. There is no yellow cross, but as you can see, all these pieces are yellow and they are edge pieces, but they're just not oriented the right way. What we're going to want to do is not focus on if they're in with the right center or not, just make the yellow cross. That's just what we're going to do. So we're going to look for two different patterns that are very important. The first pattern is the hook, which is like a backwards L in the top left position. If you see the same pattern right here, just rotate the cube and you have it in the top left. The other one is the bar. With both of these, you're going to do the same algorithm, but if you have the hook like me, you have to do it twice. So with the bar horizontally and the hook in the top left corner, we're going to do this algorithm. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F. And as you can see, I got the bar. If you had the bar in the first place, then you'll have the yellow cross completed. Do not pay attention to the corners because those will really throw you off. All we're focusing on right now is the yellow cross. So let's do that algorithm again with the bar horizontally. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. As you can see, we now have the yellow cross. While having the yellow cross, there are many different outcomes of the corners, however. So, when looking at the yellow cross, you'll have multiple different corner pieces or patterns. This is a very basic one with all the corners like this and just the yellow cross. Another one is like the hammer where you have this all yellow and the yellow handle. And the other one is like a diamond shape. And then the last one is the fish. If you have the fish, you are good for this step. If you have this yellow cross like me, you're going to do this algorithm. But first you're going to look around the cube to see about the corners. If you have a configuration like me, you're going to look for the one without two yellow corners facing you. Then you're going to hold it in front of you and do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. As you can see, we now have the fish. Another possibility you may have is what I like to call the hammer, because of all these pieces are filled in, and then you have the handle of the hammer. So with this, what you're going to want to do is hold it so that the handle is facing you and the mallet part, or the stone part, is facing out. Then you're going to want to look at these two pieces. It doesn't matter if they're here, if they're here or here, you're just going to want to make sure that they're not here. Then do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. As you can see, we now have the fish once again. Possibility you may have is this diamond-like shape. So, as you can see, we have this strange pattern right here. While holding this on top, you're going to look at these bars right here. You're going to want to rotate it until you see the yellow piece in the top left corner. Then with the yellow piece in this top left corner facing you, then you're going to want to do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. And as you can see, we now have the fish. Okay, so now that we have the fish, it's time to finish the yellow face. As you can see here, we have the cross and we have a finished corner. So, while holding the finished corner in the bottom left, we're going to look at this layer. You will have a yellow piece either here in front of you or on the right. If you have it on the right, like me, then you will have to do this algorithm 2 times. If you have it in front, then you only have to do it once, and then you're done with this step. Since I have it right here, then I have to do it 2 times, so let's do it. The algorithm for both scenarios is R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. And as you can see, you will either have completed the cube or you'll have a fish with the nose in the bottom left and a yellow piece in front of you. Let's do this algorithm one more time. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. And as you can see, we now have the yellow face done. With the yellow face being done, you may have a completed face. If you do, put that in the back. Another possible thing you may have is having 2 finished corners, and you're going to put that in the back also. If you do not though, then you will have to do this algorithm. With this completed face in the back and these 2 finished corners in the front, you will do this algorithm. You cannot do this algorithm if these 3 sets of corners are not finished. Wait for a couple seconds and we will get onto that step next. If you do have it so that all the corners are finished and one side is complete, then you will be doing this algorithm. R2, U, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R prime. And as you can see, we now still have the completed face and we have another piece. If your cube is completely finished, then congratulations, you solved the 3x3 cube. But if you only have one completed face in the back, then you have to do this algorithm one more time. R2, U, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R prime. And congratulations, you have now solved the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. Okay, so now that we have the fish, it's time to finish the yellow face. While holding the fish so that the head is in the bottom left corner, look at this layer right here. You'll either have a yellow piece facing this way or it'll be on the right side. If you have it facing you, then you'll have to do this algorithm once. If you have it facing away from you, like I do, then you'll have to do it twice. So here's the algorithm for both steps. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. As you can see, we now have the fish again. If you had it so that the yellow piece was facing you, you should now have a completed yellow face. So let's do this algorithm one more time to complete the yellow face. R, U, R prime, U, R, 2U, R prime. As you can see, we have now completed the yellow face. While looking around, you may have a completed face, group of corners, or an entirely completed cube. I only have 2 corners done. You may have all the corners done in one face. There are many possibilities you can have. I'm going to start with this one, which is where you have one corner group, and I'm going to put it in the back, and then I also do not have any of the completed edges or the other corners. So if you have this scenario that I have, which is with the one group in the back and all the others not completed, then you're going to want to do this algorithm. R prime, F, R prime, back 2 times, right, F prime, R prime, back 2 times, and right 2 times. And as you can see, we now have all the corners together. If you have managed to get a completed face, you're going to put that in the back. If you're like me and you still do not have any completed faces, then you can just pick any face to start with. Since I don't have any, I'm just going to pick any face. I'll be the blue side and I'll put it in the back. If you have your completed face, make sure it's in the back before you do this algorithm. The algorithm is, well, for both steps, the algorithm is R 2 times, U, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R prime. And as you can see, we now have a completed face. So, looking at the cube with the completed face in the back, we have to do this algorithm 1 or 2 more times to complete it. Looking at this piece right here, it's blue. If the blue side is on the left, then I have to do it 1 more time. But if this color is on the right, then I have to do it 2 more times. So let's do it. R2, U, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime. And as you can see, we have now completed the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. As a bonus, I am going to include how to do the checkerboard pattern in this tutorial. So with the white face forward, you're going to move both sides twice, then flip it over so that all the bars are going horizontal, and do the same thing, and then rotate it so you see the horizontal bars again, and rotate it 2 more times. And as you can see, we now have a very cool checkerboard pattern. These are the faces. I think this pattern is very cool and very simple. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and congratulations for solving the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. Please like and subscribe for more content.